Testing one, testing two, testing three. You know what to do. A testing one, a testing two, yeah, yeah. I'm testing one, I'm testing two, testing three. You know just what to do. Testing one, and testing two. I think we're looking good. How's it sound out there? Sounds better out there than it does in my head. All right, how's everybody doing this morning? All right, I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for asking. You know, driving through the Ocala Forest for an hour and a half on a sunny day, well, you know, partly sunny day, and you know, Marianne's not driving with me the last couple of weeks, so I roll the windows down because I'm not worried about my hair getting messed up. so, so I roll the windows down, and you know, it's like a whole nother experience. But I just love Stevie Wonder's music. That's an old song of his called My Cherie Amour, you know. How many of you speak French? A couple of words? No French? Well, yeah, well, when you're a musician and a singer, you always speak different languages. You don't know what you're saying. Michel, ma belle, sont les mots qui vont très bien ensemble, très bien ensemble. What did I just say? Nice outfit. Cast your intention into the void. The universe is waiting. Ever present at your command, eternally creating. There inside the silence, deep inside the silence. Listen to the silence. Deep within your sacred place where unity and peace dwell, you can hear that still small voice say things only to you it will tell. Only in the silence, deep inside the silence, listen to the silence. Never-ending joy, never-ending peace, never-ending life, never-ending ease. All that is and all that was is all that there ever will be. Oh, a field of boundless possibilities, endlessly unfolding. Deep inside the silence, there inside the silence, only in the silence, to the silence. Listen to the silence. Thank you. Oh, that's an old one. I'm glad I remembered the lyrics to it. I've written so many songs, hundreds of songs, my goodness, and some of them are good. I'm just reminded of a song. I'm going to do that quickly for you. This is one I wrote like about 20 years ago when I was 9. And no, but it's a song about the good things in life, and it goes like this. Okay. When I wake up and see the sun a-peeping, turn over and watch my woman sleeping, a peaceful feeling comes over me, and there's no place I'd rather be I thank God for the simple things in life. When I get up and stand on two strong legs, stretch my arms, trying to scratch my head, look into the mirror and see a man today I'm proud to be. I thank God for the simple things in life. I'm not going to go any further with that, but it's more to that song. But it's time for me to do my intro song because we're going to bring the Reverend Dr. Ken Wilcox out in a few minutes. Are there any people here for the first time? Oh, my goodness. Well, thank you for coming and welcome. No matter where you come from, no matter where you're going, here's a place where you can take comfort in the knowing that whether if you come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's pray together. Come love and be loved. From the blissed out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in. Come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist, or Jew, this door is open to you. If there's some kind of trouble or pain you're going through, know that you are not alone and someone cares for you as an individualization of divine point of view. This door, oh, this door right here is open for you. Oh, this door, I'm talking about this door. I said this door is open to you. Come on in. Come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist, or Jew, this door is open to you. Welcome. This door is open to you. Keep that going and welcome our spiritual leader, the Reverend Dr. Ken Wilcox.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Eddie Watkins Jr. Oh, my goodness. This door is open to you. It doesn't matter you're black, white, gay, or straight, Christian, Buddhist, or Jew. This door is open to you. And what is this door for? This door is open for more love, for more joy, for more health, for more prosperity, all those things that make us feel alive. Because that's what Spirit is doing through you and through me, showing up in the physical, recognizing itself through our love, our joy, and our laughter. And to make this happen in a greater, more loving and dynamic way, you only have to do one simple thing each Sunday morning, one easy thing. And that's to leave all your troubles, your fears, your would-haves, your could-haves, your should-haves, to leave all that stuff outside, and for the next 45 minutes or so to open up an avenue of Spirit possibilities. And what are Spirit possibilities? Well, they're for more of every love, kindness, compassion that you can imagine. Because that's what Spirit is doing in our lives. Showing up, recognizing itself through our love and joy. So know you're in a great place this morning, and Spirit is going to recognize and reward you abundantly. Well, just a couple of announcements before I get going. We have a need, if anybody would like to handle the hospitality for next Sunday, there's a sign up outside. If you have any questions, Linda here on her cell phone, we won't say anything about that. We'll be happy to tell you. That's what she was doing on the cell phone. She was organizing all of that. So thank you, Linda. Also, Gosh, this is a big, huge day because many of you may remember young Victor Manley. And I, particularly when I first started coming here, his wonderful sister, Venus, and our amazing Victor Manley is graduating today. If you would like to sign his graduation card, there's one outside on the welcome table, so be sure to do that. Also, we have some newcomers we're welcoming to the center this morning. So, Jim, if you'll come up. Who do we have coming up, Jim?
The first person is Linda Ryan.
Linda? Your name tag and a nice book. Stay up here for a second. Kathy Consoli. Okay.
And
Helen Dow. You already have your name tag. Will you get a book? Thank you, Helen. Thank you, Linda. Thank you for joining. This is a great place to be, and we know y'all are going to share lots of wonderful, good stuff with us. All right, so those are all my announcements. Let's hit some great music, Eddie.
This morning, I think that we should rock out. Do you agree? We should get down. What do you think? And the way we do it is like this. Now, if you feel like standing, stand up and clap your hands. Yeah. I am alive with the Spirit of God. 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 I am alive, y'all, alive with the Spirit of God. I am 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 alive, y'all, alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. Woo! I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive, y'all, alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. Woo! I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive with the Spirit of God. I am alive, y'all, alive with the Spirit of God. One more time. I am alive, y'all, alive with the Spirit of God. Woo!
Indeed. So this is what we want to do. We want to take this energy that you feel right now and we want to drink it in. And what I would like for you to do is to come up with an image of what you want to see in your life this week, what you would like to see for a family or friend, and what you would like to see for the world. Hold on to those images as you go through this service, as you feel the up and down of the emotions. Keep those images alive. And what you're going to do is you're going to set off a prayer, a treatment is what we call it, into the mind of God, and it will reflect back as your life. So to get us going, we got our own Brenda Sasensis coming up, who's very proud that I was willing to try to pronounce her last name. Come on up, Brenda.
Thank you. Yes, not everybody is willing to do that. It's really easy. Just drop the C's, and then it becomes very easy. So my opening prayer today is based on a profound experience I had this week. I trap feral cats in our neighborhood, but one in particular, her name is Gracie. She's about a year old. I trapped her last summer and had her spayed, and I've become a friend. We've become good friends. I feed her twice a day, morning and afternoon, every day that I can, which is most days. Well, last weekend, she went missing. I didn't see her Saturday for morning, afternoon, Sunday morning, afternoon. Monday morning, she showed up at the place where I feed her, which is about a 2 or 3 minute walk from where I live, badly limping. Her right front leg was dangling, and she limped and could hardly touch it. Well, of course, this was breaking my heart, and I didn't know what was wrong with it, especially. So I put food in her dish, water in her bowl, and she went over to eat a little, and she wouldn't really come near me, not like she normally does. She normally comes running to me and just wants to be petted and loved. Not Monday morning. So I touched her leg just ever so slightly and felt 2 bumps sticking up. I thought, ugh, I wonder if it's broken. And she had a violent reaction to it. She did not want to be touched. She didn't want anything to do with me. She limped off without eating anymore. So Monday afternoon, I called the vet, make an appointment for Tuesday, hoping to trap her Tuesday morning. Went with the trap. That she was having nothing to do with that. Wouldn't come near me, just wanted to be left alone. I left food and water for her. Didn't see her Monday afternoon. That was Tuesday morning. Wednesday morning, she showed up again, limping a little less, but her leg was swollen. So I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what do I do? Well, in the meantime, I've been praying for her greatest and highest good and for guidance for me. Praying. Nothing was coming to me except these failed attempts. I called animal control. They weren't helpful because they said if they trap her, that they would euthanize her. Well, I didn't want that to happen. So I kept praying and thinking, I was a state of confusion, worry, turning it over to Spirit mostly, but still thinking, what can I do? So Thursday, she comes with almost no limp, no swelling in her leg, and was ready to be petted again. Friday, she shows up again, almost no limp, and was scratching on a nearby tree trunk with both front paws. I thought, oh my gosh, my prayer was answered. Like I should be surprised by that. I don't know why I was surprised, but I was. I should have never doubted Spirit. And this morning she came running toward me again as I was approaching where she feeds, happy as could be, just wanting to be loved and petted. And she ate a lot of food. She's had lost some weight from, I guess, the pain and whatnot. So what did I learn? I learned that everything is in divine order. That patience is what is needed by me. I'm an impatient person. And I realized that my guidance that I was asking for was actually my confusion, my doubt. It prevented me from interfering and intervening what Spirit was already playing out in its divine order. I thought, wow, that's interesting. Confusion being guidance. Okay. And then I also learned that my consciousness is no match for Gracie's. She knew what she had to do. She was guided. She was completely open to Spirit, to the divine intelligence. She went and hid as she needed to and rested. Whatever she was doing, she knew what she was doing. I didn't. I thought I had to help her. I thought I had to get her to a vet. No, she healed fine just on her own. And so this was such a profound and apparent, clear lesson for me, many lessons. And I just was really affected by it. So here's my prayer for today. Let's close our eyes. Take a deep breath. And know this with me, that there is one divine intelligence in the universe. It is always and everywhere. It's present everywhere, even in Gracie. And I know that I am one with it, that all things are one with it. And that as I have learned that divine order is always at work, Spirit knows what it's doing. I'm not always conscious of it. I'm not always aware of it. I have a lot to learn. I had something to learn from my little friend, my little peanut, Gracie. And so, as I learned these lessons of divine order and patience, and not having fear of an outcome, and just as Gracie did not have a fear of her outcome, of her injury, she knew what she was being guided to do. And so as I learn those lessons, I release it. Oh, ever grateful for knowing these lessons. I release it into the mind of God and law. And together we say, and so it is.
Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace. Show, Spirit, show through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love. Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace. Show, Spirit, show through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love. Every hand I shake, every embrace, every thought I think, oh yeah, Spirit flow through me. Every word I say, every night and day, I wanna be an expression of your unfolding love. Every decision through the confusion, flow through me, Mother, Father, God, as I open up to let your Spirit lead the way. Oh, I'm not worried, 'cause I know that as I believe, so it is. And when I wake up in the morning, and when I put on my clothes and go about my way, let me touch somebody, let me love somebody, let me help somebody. Flow through me, oh, flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace. Show, Spirit, show through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love.
Thank you, Eddie. So my talk this week is entitled Silent Partner. And this is what Dr. Holmes, the founder of our teaching, he said about Spirit. He said it is our silent partner. And this previous week, I really had to rely on this partnership to get through the week. I had started off, I had to go out and do my sister's memorial service out in West Monroe, Louisiana. And then I went to Asheville to speak for my dear friends John and Barbara Waterhouse. And I had to rely on Spirit to get me through that week. Actually, what came to me was the old song, gospel song, that Eddie actually, I think, played a little bit of this morning. Funny how those things work out. Leaning on the everlasting arm. And that's what I kind of felt, that I was leaning on an arm, leaning on support. And it's not that I was weak or wounded or a victim, but I just needed some help getting through the challenging times that I was going through. And I think Spirit is there for us when we go through challenging times. I think it's such a misidea to think that God does not realize how tough life is, the challenges of life, and that Spirit is not there with us every step of the way if we will open ourselves up to it and to help us through. So it's critical to know that we can get support from our higher source and that we can continue moving on one step at a time. And sometimes that's the best we can do is one step at a time. So Dr. Holmes says this partnership is with the infinite mind, that we're in partnership with universal consciousness, and it's designed to help us create the most loving life possible. That's what we're here doing. We're here creating the most loving life possible. We're here to witness the world becoming a better place because we are here. Because we're here. As I've been moving through the challenges of the last 2 years perhaps, I've come to realize that I think that's what I want for our center here, is not only that when we come here that we feel better for having been here, but we also know that by being here, we're making the world a better place. Because we're willing to step up and declare for ourselves that we're a channel of God's creativity in life. And then we do what we can, and we turn the rest over to Spirit, because we can't do everything. We can't do everything. It's like the Buddhist teacher. There was an old Buddhist story of a Buddhist teacher and a student. They're going along the beach. The beach is full of starfish. The teacher reaches down and takes one starfish and throws it far into the water. The student looks at him and says, "But, Master, you can't save them all." And the teacher replies, "But I saved that one. I saved that one." And I think that's what we're here to do. We are here to do what we can and to rest in assurance knowing that what we can do in conjunction with the universal power is enough. Is enough. It's like Brenda was saying about her little peanut Gracie. What she was able to do was enough, and the Spirit provided the rest. A wonderful example for me this past couple of weeks has been our friend Anna Miller. You may remember her. She is the Ukrainian artist who's dedicating all her artwork to help people in Ukraine. And the Ukrainian government has just awarded her a Ukrainian medal, volunteer hero. So just imagine that. This young woman was at our center just a couple of weeks ago, promoting her artwork that's helping people in Ukraine. She's helping a firefighting crew. She's helping a crew that is finding the mines that the Russians left behind. She's also helping in the refugees to get kids milk and toys. And that this person is getting acknowledgement from Ukraine. That's how much value they see in her. And that she's in our midst. We have so much power if we were willing to step out and do what's right in front of us to do. There's something we can do that's easy to make the world a better place, and then God's going to take care of the rest of it. Dr. Holmes says we're in league with the universe. We're in league with the universe. He says its center is everywhere, its circumference is nowhere. And it is localized wherever thought and consciousness function. Our goal then is to become aware, to consciously use our thinking. Because a lot of times we're just on autopilot. We're just on autopilot getting through. And that's okay, because some of life we need to be on autopilot to get through. But we have to make sure, like on autopilot, if we dip below a certain altitude, that there are signals to go off to remind us, wait a minute, you've got to do some correction here. You need to hang around a better group of people. You need to do some better reading or listen to some music or get out in nature or do some prayer or meditation. As I mentioned, my nephews had asked me to come out to Monroe, Louisiana to do my memorial service for my sister. And I had taken the 2 planes out. I'd gotten to the hotel room. I was really just exhausted. I had ordered some food from Grubhub. It's an amazing app. I did not know about Grubhub. There are people out there that will bring you food to your door. It's probably something I didn't need to know about, but so I got some food I was eating, and I was just mindlessly, kind of flipping around the television. Suddenly, I realized that, like, for the last 20 minutes, I had been watching a television program on the Hitler Youth. What are you doing? No, that's a program you might watch in school or some other time, but not when you're, with family in a sad situation. So it's good to be able to recognize those signals and say, wait a minute, I can choose to know better. I can choose to see a better world, to have faith that the good is going to have an impact. Now, like I said, my sister's memorial was last week, and I am sad that she is no longer with me in the physical. She was 16 years older than I am. She is a beauty queen. She was a beauty queen. She married very well a football player at one time, and she loved nothing more to do than to climb trees and shoot at stuff. Turkeys, deer, the occasional ex-husband every once in a while. But I have no regrets for her life, because she squeezed every bit of fun and joy out of life she could. There was none left. It reminded me of a trick my mom had when we were little. We had several kids in our family, and if we ever ran out of ketchup, Mom would take the bottle, and this was back when you thought your mom could solve any problem, and she would add a little bit of water to the ketchup bottle and shake it, and there would be one last serving of ketchup there. Well, that's how my sister was with her life. She lived it fully and completely. And the other major thing, she didn't hold grudges. Now, when she was a young woman, well, not even a young woman, 15 years old, my parents had thrown her out of the house because she had made a mistake. And she went off to Louisiana and married a football player. And from that time on, once she married the football player, from that time on, the whole family, when she would come back home, they would treat her like she was a Hollywood star. Gina Lola Brigida wouldn't have gotten any more acclaim, any more attention than when Reba came to town. Oh my goodness, everything had to be cleaned up, the food had to be bought, the family came in, and they treated her like she was a Hollywood star. Now, the thing that's amazing to me is that how she had had such a tough time with them, but she never expressed any resentment. Never. She and my mom were best friends to the rest of their lives. And I don't know if I could have done that. I think I would have been a little resentful, and I probably would have held it over their heads for the rest of their lives. But she didn't. And she didn't do that throughout her life. At the service, she'd had several husbands. She did find the love of her life at one point. She went through a couple of rich guys while my mom was married. Once mom went on her way, she then found what she called an old cowboy. She said he was charming. He could charm the birds out of the trees. And it was the love of her life. She loved nothing more than to go out into a little boat they had on the river. And at night they would build a fire, and she had a long stick she would call her shoeing stick. And so she could shoo away the water moccasins that were coming up towards the fire. Yeah, I told her it was shooing me back to my hotel room, so don't worry about it. But at service, both of her ex-husband's sisters showed up. And I thought that was an amazing thing. They showed up and talked about what a wonderful friend she had been. And even though they had been, they were sisters to husbands that things hadn't worked out, they still loved her. And so she was an amazing person to be able to overcome resentments and hurt. And so she lived an amazing life. My nephews wanted me to come out and do the service, and I was really kind of amazed that they would want me out. I was so humbled by it. I just always thought they thought of me as their goofy uncle that, was into goofy thinking. I didn't really realize that they would want me to come and do a service. And I'm sure it was probably the first New Thought message ever have been delivered personally in Monroe, Louisiana. And if they had probably known about it, they probably wouldn't have let that one happen, but it did. And so by the time that I was headed up to Asheville to visit my friends, I was pretty much toast. But all along the way, things kept showing up for me. People, places, events that just kind of let me know that there was a guidance for me, that there was a path for me. One of the most amazing things that happened is when I landed in Monroe, Louisiana, which is really in the middle of nowhere, the airport, I got to the airport, it was the most beautiful airport I've ever seen in my life. It's brand new, it's spectacular. It looks like something that would be in Aspen, Colorado, some really expensive place, or the vineyards of California, not in Monroe, Louisiana, but there it was. When I was headed up to North Carolina, I got picked up by an Uber driver. Yes, they have Uber in Monroe. I was happy about that. And this woman was amazing. She was just in her late 60s, and when she picked me up, I asked her how she was doing, and she told me, she says, "I'm just so blessed. I can't even share with you all my blessings." She said, "The Spirit has just blessed me completely and totally." And so I asked her, I said, "Well, share one blessing you have." She said, "Well, all right." She says, "I'm 67 years old." She says, "The good Lord has seen fit to call both of my husbands home, and now the Lord has to wait on them hand and foot, and I don't have to do that anymore." I knew we were going to become good friends. She told me, she said that the previous year, the doctor had come to tell her that she had cancer. They had found cancer in 2 spots. The doctor came in, he says, "Mrs. Washington, you've got cancer in these 2 spots. He says, "This is what we're going to do, surgery, chemo." And she said, after he told her all of that, he says, "Now, Mrs. Washington," he says, you're handling this so calmly. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Do you understand that you have cancer?" And she says, she looked at him, she says, because he was younger than her, of course, and she says, "Now look here, son." She says, my body has cancer. She says, but Jesus has my soul. Jesus has my soul. I think I hollered out hallelujah. It's one of those things. Have you ever done that before? You in your mind, you think you've said something that's like, did I say that out loud? Anyway, we got to the airport, and I could tell that there was something more she wanted. She wanted more. And so I forgot what I said to her. But then she said, would you mind if I pray for you? I'll take a prayer for anybody. I'll take a prayer. The prayer is like offering me a bagel. I will take it from anyone. And so I was like, sure, you can do a prayer for me. So in the drop-off line at Monroe, Louisiana, I bowed my head, and she placed her hands over my head and did a prayer for me. And I loved it. Helen Keller said, every time someone prays, something good is done. Every time. Now, did she use all the language that I would have used? No. But even our founder, Dr. Holmes, he says, it doesn't even really matter the words so much. What matters are the emotions and the intention. That's what matters. And her emotions and intentions were for me to be blessed. That's what they were. And as long as I was open to it, it was going to become a fact of my life. A fact of my life. And here's a funny thing, and I don't even really know how to explain it. There I was in Monroe to say goodbye to my sister in the physical. Just met this woman for 15 minutes. But it was almost like this woman had been with me all along. It was almost like I had known her all along, that she had been a part of the journey with me all along, and I would see her again and would know her again. I don't know really how to explain that. Dr. Holmes, he said, wherever we place our attention, their spirit is in activity. So I think I was open to Spirit's guidance, and it came along because I had so many others of them. When I got on the plane to go from Monroe to Asheville, normally when I'm on a plane, I'm paying too much attention, helping the pilot fly the plane. So I don't communicate with people very much. I just stay focused on what the plane is doing. And so this guy sat down next to me, and he had this huge book he was reading. This thing was that thick. And I saw the cover of it, and amazingly, I knew the book. It was by Anne Applebaum. It's about a famine that Stalin created in Ukraine. So it's a very kind of, dense read. And I knew it, and I started talking to him, and it was the most amazing thing in the world. This guy had come out because his client is this big, huge paper mill plant in Monroe. It's one of the largest in the world. He advises them, and he advises world leaders. He had just come from Madeleine Albright's funeral. So that was like catnip to me, And we had the most amazing thing in the world. And his whole focus is on servant leadership and designing companies that are envisioning pulling people together all for a common good. So it was an amazing thing. He actually gave me his card. It was just a stroke of God's goodness right there on a seat from Monroe to Atlanta, Georgia. If we will allow ourselves to be open, we can allow this love and energy to flow through us. Spirit, as long as we will keep our eyes focused on health and love and prosperity, Spirit will flow through us and attract to us ideas and events and people that reflect those ideas. If we keep ourselves focused on lack and limitation, those ideas are only empowered by our fear, and they can attract some really negative stuff to us. But when we give ourselves over to cosmic goodness, that's when miracles can really flow. And we can relax and just know Spirit's in charge. Spirit's in charge. God is in control. Good is in control. And that things are going to work out. They all are, they really are. And sometimes in this walk, it's baby step after baby step. Sometimes that's all you can do. And even sometimes when you don't think you're moving that far, or moving that fast, you can look back and you can see a whole pattern there all along that you never knew. It's what happened to me this week. So, as I mentioned to you, my sister was 16 years older than me, and I had never really lived in the house with her because they had put her out by the time I was really smart enough to figure out what was going on. My parents were pretty harsh people. And one of the earliest memories that I remember of her was that she came in the back door. I was probably like 3 years old. She came in through our back door. And I was really, as a little kid, shocked that anybody was coming into the back door that I didn't recognize. And she was coming in the back door because my parents wouldn't let her come in the front door with her child. And, you know, it wasn't like we lived in the country club. I mean, you know, it wasn't like the neighbors were anything special, but that was their worry. It happened at the funeral. It happened at the funeral because they did the funeral service in the old style. You know, there hadn't been a lot of changes in West Monroe, so they had an open casket for her. Don't you dare let them do an open casket on me. I will come back and haunt all of you. No open caskets. But they did an open casket. When the service began, they closed it up. And then at the very end, they opened it back up so everybody could come and say goodbye. And so it so happened that the way I was positioned, that I was the last person up there. And it suddenly dawned on me how right, how perfect this is. Of all the people there, I was the one that had known her the longest. I was on this journey of life. I was the one that had been at the earliest place. And so I said goodbye to her, the last person. As I leaned over, I kissed her hair, and I shed a tear on her, and I leaned up, and I thought to myself, how perfect. She has the Hollywood ending she would have wanted. It couldn't have been any better. And you know, it really was beautiful. She was surrounded by friends. Her boys were wonderful. Her grandkids were wonderful. The place was full of life. And I got to be a part of it. You know, there is something wonderful and amazing and kind and compassionate and healing and empowering that wants to be birthed through our lives now. And we can do it. We don't have to be super people. Right as we are in all our woundedness, all our hurt, all of this baggage that we carry with us, right in this, we can allow the goodness and compassion of God to flow through us. We can let go of our fear and doubt and say yes to life, say yes to love. Do what we can with what's right in front of us. Empower those people that we see are doing good in life. And know that God is with us. God is for us. God is lighting the way before us. And we are all going to get there. Dr. Holmes says, no, not one of us is going to be missing. So I just want you to know this morning that you are loved beyond reason. Spirit sees you as a bright light of God's possibility. So this week, go out there and make something wonderful happen in your life. God is counting on you, and you're up to the task to make it happen. This is the truth in your life today. It's the truth in mine, and so it is.
We are creating a world that works for everyone. Yes, we're amazing, and we've just begun to feel the power and freedom to be who we came here to be, as we discover each other and celebrate humanity. We are creating a world that works for everyone. Yes, times are changing. It's a love revolution as we are walking together. Love is leading the way through the fields of compassion to a world that works for everyone. To a world that works for everyone. As we are walking together, love is leading the way through the fields of compassion to a world that works for everyone. To a world that works for
Thank you, Eddie. We are creating a world that works for everyone. That's what we're doing here. A world of love and compassion, of kindness, where we encourage everyone around us to be the best that they can be. And the world can live together in kindness and compassion. We can create a new heaven and a new earth in sisterhood and brotherhood. That's the vision we're holding here today. And your support is helping us in our way create that vision. So you can support us in several ways. One is in consciousness through prayer work, envisioning this auditorium full. It was one time that it was packed full of people. Envisioning a strong youth program. You know, just this yesterday, through the Venus Manley Scholarship, we interviewed 5 kids to award scholarships to. Our scholarships go out to kids with disabilities who want to go get further education. And one of the young men that came in, he was just such a darling guy. And he's going to FNU, is that at Florida? NFU, one of the schools over there, and because all his sisters go there, and he wants to get in a program, and this program will help him live independently. Can you imagine the blessing we will have if we help him? What a blessing that will do for his parents, that their son will be able to live independently. So you can help us in your prayers. You can help us in coin. You can help us also in volunteerism. You know, we do have a lot of volunteer work. But however you help us, know that not only is it going to help us, but it's going to help you. Your support here is going to unleash possibilities that you cannot even imagine. So you may find an Uber driver who will give you the encouragement and support that go on. You may land in a seat way too close to a person that is a Georgia Tech professor who's who's going to give you information. You never know. It is this silent partner, this everlasting arm of support that you are empowering. So however you choose to give, place that gift over your heart and read with me this affirmation of prosperity. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow, and all that I share with life returns to me multiplied abundantly. And together we say, and so it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
So we now come to the time for our closing affirmative prayer. I'm going to do it in the first person. Take it in for yourself. If I say something that works for you, hold tight to that. If I say something that doesn't work for you, we'll just let that part slide by. Now, you remember at the first of the service, I encouraged you to come up with 3 images of how you would like to see your life improve. One for yourself, one for family and friends, and one for the world. So hold on tightly to those images, let them rotate, and just let the energy of my prayer empower those images. And just know this truth with me this morning. There is but one God and one mind and one power. And that power is perfect love. That power is divine intelligence. And that power is the everlasting arm of God, which I lean upon, which helps me get through the challenges of life. So this morning, I'm leaning on that arm, and I'm looking out and I'm looking up. This morning, I am no way set down or lifted, not encouraged. This morning I see the greater possibilities that life have in store for me. The world may be in turmoil, but the mind of God is not. And this morning I know there's a way for us in sisterhood and brotherhood to live together in peace and compassion and kindness. There's a way for us to lift up our children so they can be the very best they can be. There's a way for us to nurture and support and bind up our wounds and to become that bright shining city on the hill that God is calling us to be. This morning I leave this place empowered. I have chosen to drop down my burdens. I'm breaking through the shackles of victimhood and bondage. This morning I am choosing to be the person that God is calling to be. This morning I am strong in my compassion, dynamic in my love. This morning I leave this place knowing that the blessings of God are raining down upon me. It's my truth. Every cell of my being radiates this right knowing, and I release this prayer to the mind of God to do its good and perfect, bold and dynamic work, returning to me multiplied abundantly. And together we say, and so it is. All right, my friends, I'm going to leave you with one last idea. Your life, it's not a problem to be solved. It's a miracle unfolding. Your job this week is to go name your miracle, proclaim your miracle, and make it your own. God bless us all. Now let's go be the miracle God is calling us to be. This is Reverend Ken with Eddie Watkins Jr. wishing you many blessings.
Please stand and join us for the peace song. Let walk with our family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Namaste. God bless you.